That's absolutely true.
One of those conferences?
Yeah.
Let me also ask you about Katie Hobbs' campaign break.
So another PIO officer is in charge of that particular case. It's going to be the same information that he's already provided. I wouldn't be able to give you anything updated at this
Can you
time.
confirm name or anything?
Nope, I can't confirm name or anything. I know he's working on a media advisory with that updated information at this time.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
You have PBU on your phone? Just stream it.
No. Did I get? Is that my phone? I do not. You good?
I'm good. If everybody else is good,
Down.
thank you for waiting.
No worries.
You owe us.
All right, everybody set up, mic check.
Good to go.
Good over here on the left, sir.
All good?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Sergeant Brian Bauer. It's spelled B-R-I-A-N. Bauer is B-O-W-E-R. I am a sergeant with the Phoenix Police Department under the Public Affairs Bureau. What brings us out today is there was a shooting incident that occurred over here at the intersection on 16th Street and Greenway Parkway. This information is still preliminary. Detectives are still en route to the scene to gather more information, to speak with all the witnesses, and to really find out exactly what led up to the shooting. What we do know right now, again, this is preliminary information, is there was a road rage situation that occurred along 16th Street just north of us, of Greenway Parkway. It came to a stop, the vehicles came to a stop here at 16th Street and Greenway Parkway, where an aggressor, who's identified as only as an adult male, started conducting a fight or began fighting with the passenger of another vehicle. The two adult males ended up getting out of their vehicles, continued with this fight in the intersection. One of the adult males believed that believed something was going on further, so he grabbed a knife and he ended up stabbing the other adult male. That was the initial confrontation. That male who stabbed the other individual got into his vehicle, which is described as a black passenger car, which is currently on Greenway Parkway, and starts driving away from the scene. While he's driving away from the scene, the adult male who was stabbed multiple times brandishes a handgun and starts firing at that vehicle as it's leaving the area. The bullets ended up hitting and striking the vehicle. It also struck an 8-year-old female, juvenile female, in the vehicle. That juvenile was taken to a local hospital where she's still listed in critical condition, stable but critical condition at this time. The adult male who was stabbed was also taken to a local hospital where his injuries are listed as critical as well. The male who got into the car and drove away with his family, that male also was taken to a local hospital for minor injuries to his hand. So we have 3 individuals. We have nobody outstanding at this time. Officers are currently with all 3 personnel involved, and the vehicles are still here out on the scene. So I want to let the community members know that, again, nobody is outstanding. We have everything set up here. Everything is still in process with the investigation team. So with that being said, I'd be more than happy to take some questions. Just keep in mind this is still preliminary information. Detectives are still en route to the scene.
You said one of the men was the aggressor, the initial aggressor. Which was that the person who was stabbed or the person who?
So the initial aggressor for the road rage incident was driving a green Jeep. Again, that's parked over here off of 16th Street. He was the individual that was stabbed multiple times. He was also the same individual that brandished the handgun and fired shots at the other vehicle.
So did the driver of that Jeep, did he, for lack of a better phrase, instigate this whole issue? Do you know how his role that he played in it as it began?
So as far as the initial information that we have, the gentleman in the Jeep, he was the one that instigated the road rage incident. that came to a fight over here at the intersection of 16th Street and Greenway Parkway. As far as what led up to the stabbing and shooting, that's still under investigation. Detectives are going to speak with all the witnesses and try to identify exactly what led up to the critical portion of this incident.
But up until that point, the guy in the Jeep hadn't brandished a weapon yet, hadn't, shoot a weapon of any kind up until that point?
So what we're getting right now is what I've already spoken about. Everything else, those questions are going to be answered with the detectives as they investigate and start speaking with all the different witnesses. As you can imagine, the time of day, there are other witnesses that watched this occur, so they are being spoken to by officers right now, and eventually they'll be spoken by detectives to really figure out and hatch out exactly what led up to the shooting and stabbing.
Can I just clarify?
Yes.
So the man in the green car was the initial aggressor. Then they got out and fought. That's when someone in the black car stabbed the person in the Jeep, and the person in the Jeep shot. Right?
That is correct. Absolutely.
No one's been charged with anything yet?
Again, detectives are still on their way out here. This is just the preliminary information. It's still subject to change. So everybody that we have or that's involved in this case, officers are with them, detained or being treated at the local hospitals.
It's a pretty extensive scene and investigation. Do you have an estimate time as far as the closure and what roads will be affected right here?
No, it really depends on the detectives themselves, and again, like you said, it's kind of a chaotic scene. There's multiple people injured. They're all at different locations as well as multiple witnesses, so the streets could be closed for a significant portion of the day.
Do you have a significant amount of witnesses, because since there aren't any homes or anything around here, I mean, it's kind of sparse, so were there plenty of cars still on the road?
Yeah, we had multiple people calling into 911 giving us information as well. All those people are being spoken to right now.
Any cell phone video capture this or surveillance video of any kind?
We're still waiting on the investigators to come and check with all the different witnesses. As far as we know right now, I haven't been informed of any kind of body cameras or any kind of cell phone video at this time.
Can you just speak to the fact there's an 8-year-old girl in critical condition at the hospital right now because of a road rage incident? Another man has been stabbed. Just speak to this.
I mean, what it shows is everybody will get frustrated. Our suggestion is if you are found in a situation such as a road rage, just stop, park, call 911, have officers respond, and let us try to deal with the different parties and find out a conclusion between your guys' disagreements.
Any advice to that person who is driving down the road and doesn't realize just how frustrated they're getting, It's the busy world that we live in today.
And that would be me speculating on somebody else's emotions, which I'm not going to do, but just for your viewers, if a situation with road rage occurs, best thing to do is pull over. If you don't feel safe pulling over, next thing to do is call 911, and dispatchers will kind of guide you to where the officers are.
And don't be a hero. If you see something going on to somebody else, it's best to be a good witness rather than try and do something on your own.
What we encourage everybody to do is call 911 and allow us to handle the different disagreements between the parties.
Do you know how many times the person in the green Jeep was stabbed before they fired their gun and where they were stabbed?
Right now, preliminary information just suggests that he was stabbed multiple times. We don't know exactly how many times. That's the job of the investigators to come out working with the hospital staff to figure out exactly what wounds, how many wounds, and how critical they were.
Kind of same thing with the bullets, shots fired.
Absolutely.
How many shots?
How many times was the 8-year-old girl shot? Once? Do you know where?
Okay, so as far as the bullet strikes and how many shots were fired, we don't know the exact number right now. The job of the investigators to come out, check the entire scene, canvass the area, including the neighborhoods, and find out where all those bullet strikes landed, how many hit the vehicle, as well as the different injuries to all the victims that were involved.
Have you recovered the gun and the knife?
That's still something that the detectives are going to be working on. I know we have officers out here that are standing by the vehicles, so detectives will go ahead and do a further investigation on the vehicles and locate all evidence that's related and associated to this
And it
case
was
here.
a pistol.
And I'm sorry, I know you've
No,
been...
that's okay. So to clarify, the person in the car behind us right here only had injuries to the hand.
So it's a black car that's behind us. I don't think you can see it. It's on the road itself. Yes, the driver of that vehicle had an injury to his hand. He was in the same vehicle that the 8-year-old victim was in, and the 8-year-old victim is the one that was shot.
Was it a gunshot wound?
For the male, we still don't know at this time. Again, the detectives will be able to work with the medical personnel at the hospital and try to find out what led to that particular injury.
How many
And it
people
was
were in that car? Was it a family, you said?
So there was 3 occupants in the vehicle. Again, that's preliminary information. Detectives will still speak with everybody involved, including witnesses. But right now, indications show that nobody else ran from the vehicle, and it was just those 3 involved.
So it was the adult male, 8-year-old was his
And then there was an adult female passenger.
adult female. Was it their daughter?
Right now, we're still working with the family, trying to identify the relationships between everybody involved.
So is that, there's a third car back there. Is that just the witness car?
Yeah, so the third vehicle back there is just a witness car. Like somebody mentioned, there's not a lot of housing, residential areas in this area. There was a lot of vehicle traffic, and we had multiple people calling into 911.
Was it the female in the black car that has the injury to the hand?
No, it was the male driver who was engaged in that fight with the gentleman who was stabbed.
Okay, and which car was the female in?
A female was in the black car over here on Greenway Parkway.
She is uninjured.
Correct. All right. Well, if I have no other questions, thank you guys very much for coming out, and I appreciate your cooperation and patience with me coming up here.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Of course.
Appreciate it.